Are you blocking God's blessings? Nowadays, a lot of people, they want God to bless them, right? They want God to bless them and they want God to do a new thing in their life. A lot of people, they ask God for blessings. They ask God to bless them, with different areas like income, with their car, a job, a business. Some people, God want them to bless them in a relationship. But here's the thing: you could be standing in God's way of getting blessed. A lot of times they want God to do something for them, right? But then they hinder God's blessings from manifesting in their life. They block what God is about to do in their life based off their own actions. A lot of times people, they want God to do things for them, right? But then some of them are not ready. And then some of them, they don't fully look at the picture and fully look at themselves. They don't look at how much damage they might be doing to themselves, right? I'll give you an example. A woman might be asking God for a husband, right? She asking God for a husband. She asking God for a godly man. But yet she keep going on dates with these worldly men. Hope that makes sense. You want God to bless you with a husband, but you keep going out with all these worldly men. You keep going out with these men who don't want God. You keep going out with these men who don't even care about the kingdom of heaven. They don't care about God's will. They love the world. Some of them love being in the streets. Some of them love being addicted to sports. But yet you want God to bless you with a godly man. No different than some men, right? Some men, they will ask God. They'll be like, God, bless me with a godly wife. Bless me with the woman of God. But yet they keep going on dates with these worldly women. But yet they keep chasing behind the Instagram models. The OnlyFans models. Help it make sense. It don't, right? Well, now you understand where I'm coming from. You have to understand. If you want God to bless you, if you want God to do a new thing in your life, you gotta first make sure you're not blocking God's blessings from manifesting. That's like you asking God to do a business, right? You got the business idea, you got the money, but yet you take that money and go gamble. You waste all your money in lottery tickets. You waste all your money and going to a club and throwing bills in the air. You want God to bless your business and you want your business to take off, but yeah, you keep wasting money. It's going to be hard for your business to take off. You blocking God's blessings from manifesting. A lot of times as followers of Christ, we have to always look at ourselves in a mirror. We can't always look at other people and say, it's their fault, it's his fault, it's her fault. Sometimes people be blocking their own selves. And some people, they just don't want to admit it. Some people, they can be their worst enemy. You need to be very careful, make sure you're not blocking God's blessings. Because a lot of people do this, and they're hindering their own life from going forward. Some people, they be asking God, please get me out the projects. Please get me out of this bad neighborhood. But yet, they keep condoning activities in the neighborhood. They keep hanging out with gangs. They keep hanging out with drug dealers. They participate in this stuff. They love recording fights in their phones. They love when drama's going on. You want God to get you out, but it looks like you love your environment. Help it make sense. A person who really wants to get out, they're going to stay low key. They're going to keep it, they can keep it simple and respectful. Hi, how are you? And they keep it pushing. They look to get out. They start, filling job applications. They start starting businesses, wherever their case is. And they look to get out and move out. That's what a person wants to really make it out do. No different than some people nowadays. Some people nowadays talk about the entrepreneurs, about how they want to be an entrepreneur, but yet no moves are being made. You want to be an entrepreneur, but yet you sit down all day. You want to be an entrepreneur, but yet you watching Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all these different streaming platforms all day. You watching Max and Apple TV, but you're not getting up doing something. You have to understand, if you want God to do greatness, then you gotta be willing to not let God, you not be willing to stand in God's way. It's a deal for a deal. You want God to do great things for you, then you can't be standing in God's way. You can't be blocking your own blessings. A lot of times people be blocking their own life and they don't even realize it. Some people be talking about they waiting on God for a husband or a wife, but yet they keep going on dates. How you waiting on God for a relationship but you keep going on dates? Explain to me how that works. It looks to me like you playing the fence. You want God to do something, but you still want to do things off of your own. You're not even asking God if these people are right to marry or to get to know. You're not even asking God if this could be your God ordained spouse. You're just doing what you want to do. Now, what makes it even worse is some people are fornicating, yet they talk about they waiting on a spouse. Some people talk about they waiting on God for a spouse, but they fornicating with all these different men and these different women. But yet you waiting on God for a spouse, it don't look like that to me. You don't look like that to me. It look to me like you're in sin. It look to me like you doing your own thing. It look to me like you chasing your own desires. You're blocking your own blessings. A lot of people be blocking their own blessings, don't even realize it. A lot of people, they have to just admit that some people, they can be their worst enemy. And this is why it's very important to always stay close to God. This is why it's very important to ensure that there's no blockages in your life. Because if you want God's blessings to manifest, you gotta make sure that you're not hindering it. A lot of people be hindering their own blessings, and yet they want God to move in their life. It just don't work like that. It don't work like that. One thing about God is people in the Bible who really love God, they obey God fully. Look at Moses. I believe what Moses was about to be king, right? But then he gave all that stuff up for a king of heaven. A lot of people in the Bible, they gave that stuff up. Look at the 12 disciples. Look at Peter, I believe there was no disciples. They were fishermen, and Jesus told them to drop their net and follow him. They gave up everything for Christ. If you want to be really blessed by God, you got to let some stuff go. You can't be playing both sides, because then you'll just be blocking your own blessings. Because then God going to see you not even serious. A lot of people, they not serious. A lot of people, they talk about success, but they not serious. They talk about blessing, but they not serious. You got to be serious in this walk with God. You can't be playing both sides. You can't be hindering your own life. Because a lot of people be hindering their own selves and they don't even know it. It's sad. You cannot block your own blessings from manifesting. Because the sad thing is, God got a lot of great blessings in store for many people. God got a lot of great blessings. He got a lot of stuff in store for many of his people. But then many of his own people be blocking their own life. Many of his people, they be blocking their own selves from succeeding. Which is very sad. Because God got a lot of great things for a lot of you guys. You know, you a follower of Christ, God got a lot of blessings in store for his people. Whether that's a business, a job, money, a salary increase, a promotion, you know, a spouse, even, friends, a new city, a new area. God got a lot of great things in store for his people. But if you want that stuff to manifest, you can't be blocking your own self. Because when you end up blocking your own self due to your own disobedience, due to you not wanting to give stuff up, you just allow yourself to be stagnant. And sadly, this way you can have some people who are Christians, right? They could be Christians for 10 and 15 years and yet not even progress. And some people be like, wow, how are they followers of Christ and yet they're not even moving? They're just stagnant. Wow, how are they followers of Christ but yet they're not succeeding? Wow, how are they followers of Christ but they're not getting nowhere? They could be blocking their own blessing. They could be blocking what God got in store for them. That's like you, right? Let's say you go into a job interview, right? You go into a job interview, you qualify for a job, you know this is an interview that you could easily blow. But instead of you going the job interview and winning them over, you go in the job interview, you say disrespectful stuff to a hiring manager, and that you expect him to hire you. No, you just blocked your own self. You just basically kicked yourself off getting that job. You know, a lot of followers of Christ, they do qualify for a lot of great blessings by God. For God, by that God's gonna give them, but guess what? They end up blocking it. They end up blocking their own breakthrough. A lot of times, you know, and what's not preached about in church is a lot of pastors, they talk about blessings, right? But they often don't talk about how to get the blessing. They often don't talk about the steps to take how to get the blessing and how to keep it. So much talk is about blessing and prosperity, but there's not much talk to ensure that you're fully in God's, that you're fully in line with the blessing. That you're fully aligned with what God's about to do in your life. A lot of times people don't talk about that. They just so much talk about blessings. God's about to do this. God's about to do that. God about to give you a breakthrough. God about to give you a miracle. Yeah, he can, but guess what? You gotta make sure you're not blocking that miracle. You gotta make sure you're not blocking that breakthrough. Because if you're blocking it, all you're gonna do is hinder your own life and stop the blessing from manifesting your own life. Stop it, y'all. We have to always examine ourselves and make sure, this goes for me and you. Make sure that we're not blocking God from moving in our lives. Because some people, they block God from fully moving in their lives, and then they wonder why they stagnant. And the sad thing is, some people, they end up giving up on God, say, God, I thought you were going to be there for me. What happened? It's not God's fault. Maybe you just blocked your own blessings. Maybe you were hindering your own self. A lot of times people love to blame God, but they never want to take a look at themselves. They never want to take a look and see what they could be doing wrong. Never want to examine themselves in a mirror. Pride. But nevertheless, guys, do not block your blessings. God got great blessings in store, but you cannot block it from manifesting. You like the video, give it a like, subscribe, share it, and have a blessed day.